I enjoy playing Guitar Hero, and if my memory serves me correctly, I've been playing that game ever since I was 8 years old on the Nintendo DS. And even now in my early 20s, I will play Guitar Hero any chance I get, which is most likely in an arcade. But recently, I started wondering what the fuck happened to Guitar Hero. That's when I decided to take a deep dive and explore the history of Guitar Hero. So, if you didn't know, Guitar Hero was a music rhythm game based on rock and metal music that was inspired by Guitar Freak, a Japanese arcade game that was later released on PlayStation. And the first Guitar Hero came out in 2005 and it was developed by Harmonix, and Red Octane was responsible for developing the hardware shaped like a guitar. The following year, around 2006, Guitar Hero 2 was released, but shortly after, Harmonix was let go and replaced by Neversoft, the game developers of the Tony Hawk game series. That decision is the first red flag to the downfall of Guitar Hero. Why did Activision think it was a good idea to let go of the original game developers who helped introduce Guitar Hero into the American market? Upon further research, the CEO of Activision at the time, Bobby, stated that when we were buying Guitar Hero and buying Red Octane, the makers of Guitar Hero, we knew about Harmonix. We'd had always known them as sort of somewhat a failed developer of music games. They always had really great ideas, but nothing that was really commercially viable until Guitar Hero. And it was a good piece of software, and if we gave it to Neversoft, they'll knock the ball out of the park with this. We really didn't even think, hey, we should go to Boston and meet these Harmonix guys and see what they're up to. And of course, if we had gone up, I think the world of Guitar Hero would have been rewritten. As soon as Activision decided to let go of Harmonix, they created their own competition, now known as Rock Band. So, Rock Band was created between Harmonix and MTV, but this time the game introduced the full band experience, meaning your bandmates were no longer AI generated. Instead, you and your friends got to form some type of band by selecting hardware like a guitar, drum, bass, or vocals. Although Activision did not appreciate Harmonix, the writers of The Office seemed to disagree since they mentioned Rock Band in Season 6, Episode 25. Anyways, going back to the Guitar Hero history timeline, we last left off talking about Guitar Hero 2. So after Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3 was released, and the game was so popular that upon the release of Guitar Hero 3, which was October 28 of 2007, a couple days later, on November 7 of 2007, South Park referenced the chokehold that this game had on gamers. And according to this article dating from 2010 published on VG 24/7, Guitar Hero 3 went on to become the first game ever to become a $1 billion selling game. With this information, we can clearly tell Guitar Hero was at its peak here. That's why so many of us are wondering what the fuck happened. This brings me to my second red flag. Activision oversaturated the market, and according to WikiHero, they managed to release 14 Guitar Hero console games within a 5 year window span dating from 2005 through 2010. Not to mention the ones their competitor Rock Band was releasing. So not only did Activision oversaturate the market, they also helped create their competitor, who also oversaturated the market by trying to keep up with Guitar Hero. This led to consumers being tired of trying to keep up with the new Guitar Hero that was being released every couple months. So it ended up getting repetitive, which made it boring, and we're currently experiencing that with the Call of Duty series. They also got into controversy around 2009 with the release of Guitar Hero 5. So, Guitar Hero 5 featured Kurt Cobain, and Nirvana fans, as well as Kurt's old band members, were not happy about this because they allowed Kurt's avatar to be able to sing other artists' songs using their voices, basically making it seem like Kurt was being possessed. And I'm not even exaggerating, this is footage from that event. When this controversy came out, people didn't just criticize Activision, they also criticized Kurt's ex wife, Courtney Love, for selling out Kurt's image in Guitar Hero 5. According to this article published on GameSpot released around 2009, Courtney responded via Twitter, threatening to sue Activision and claiming she never approved the avatar use in Guitar Hero 5. And Activision's response was Guitar Hero secured the necessary licensing rights from the Cobain estate in a written agreement signed by Courtney Love to use Kurt Cobain's likeness as a fully playable character in Guitar Hero 5. So I don't know why Courtney Love went on a rampage when Activision has the receipts of her name on a contract. Now, in my opinion, I'm on the side of Nirvana and their fans. Courtney should have just allowed Activision to only use Kurt's image in songs he used to play with Nirvana. That would have been the most respectful way to honor and feature Kurt in Guitar Hero 5, but that wasn't the case. Yes, Activision did require the rights, but I still feel like they should have just honored what Nirvana and their fans were requesting. After the controversy, people felt like Activision was just out of touch and greedy, considering that they really did push for Kurt's image to sell the game to the point where it was weird and disrespectful. 2 years later, around 2011, Activision decided to disband its Guitar Hero business unit due to the decline in sales for music games, which proved to be true after Warriors of Rock sold fewer than 100,000 copies, according to this article published on GameSpot around 2011, causing the shutdown of Red Octane and layoffs at Neversoft. Now, all these unfortunate events do result from the oversaturation that Activision created, as well as the new focus on FPS games. 4 years later, after Activision decided to disband the Guitar Hero business unit, they released Guitar Hero Live in 2015. This time, the game was a little bit different because it allowed you to play a music video in the background, and it's interesting just because it's something new. It's giving VR but in 2D form. Years later is now March of 2024, and I have not seen any new Guitar Hero games on the market since 2015. So, to answer the question, what the fuck happened? Activision happened. They killed Guitar Hero. By being lazy, they didn't want to meet with Harmonix. They should have just got their ass up. And they were also greedy because they were releasing a new game every couple of months, just so they can keep up with their competitor, which they created, by the way. All of those companies oversaturated the market, and if Activision would have just sat down and worked with Harmonix and MTV, then all three of them would have been able to keep the market going at least a little bit longer. But no, instead of doing that, they caused a domino effect that led to Guitar Hero dying, causing them to be one of the top reasons why this game died. Guitar Hero was a cultural phenomenon that was very popular in the early 2000s when it was introduced to the American market because of the hardware shaped like a guitar and the edgy selection of music, making players feel like they were prodigies. That feeling ended up inspiring players to go learn how to play actual instruments, but it wasn't just gamers who knew about Guitar Hero. Everyday people were also playing the game. An example of this would be at a setting at a bar. There were bars that had the system and they had certain days dedicated for you to come in, have a drink, and shred on Guitar Hero. There were also hospital patients who used to play Guitar Hero just to kill some time. My grandma even knew about Guitar Hero. She probably forgot about it, but still, that's how popular the game was. As of right now, Clone Hero seems to be the alternative to Guitar Hero. You can play almost any song. The only downside is it's only available on PC. Sadly, I don't have one. But if you have a PC and you're interested, the game does appear to be free. It's even compatible with a console controller, keyboard, or old hardware you used to use while you played Guitar Hero. The last concept seems very nostalgic. I can only imagine how it must feel to use hardware you used to use 9 years ago. So if you have the opportunity to play Clone Hero, then I envy you sometimes. By the way, my name's Wavy. Welcome to my channel, and this is my first big project. The only experience I had prior to this was making short form content on TikTok, so if you enjoyed, then I'll see you later.